Hello, my name is Amanda, and today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for you all. I have 5 sets of stones here. What you'll be doing is I will show you each stone one at a time from 1 to 5. The 5th is actually 2 stones, and I will be doing a reading of what your past self is saying to you, a message from your past self. Everyone has some things that they need to learn from the past. I definitely do. Everybody does. So today I'll be doing a tarot reading with 4 different decks. Now eventually I'll be getting a 5th deck. I've done many tarot readings, but this is the first one that I'm putting on YouTube. And I'm sorry for the quality. My phone won't let me record past 6 minutes, and this is the best that I could do at the moment. Hopefully one day I can get a better camera. But the cards that we will be dealing with is we will have regular tarot cards, oracle cards, self-help herb cards. They're also oracle cards, but they're different, and archetype cards. Eventually I'll be getting another themed tarot card, Last Unicorn. It's been ordered, but it won't be here till the end of the month. But that will help me get more accurate readings because each deck has its own personality. My deck is very masculine. It likes to call you out, so be prepared for that. Now I'm going to be not live, but I'm going to be drawing them from the deck. There'll be 5 tarot cards, 5 oracle cards, 3 archetype cards, and 1 self-help card. The tarot cards will be telling you the message. The oracle cards will be telling you what you need to do now. The archetype cards will be telling you what the past self is trying to tell you. And the self-help cards will be telling you how to help yourself. Now that may change depending on what the cards are telling me. I go through intuition. Now, let's look at the stones and the crystals. The first one that I have is a rose quartz tower. If you're looking at this rose quartz tower and you're feeling a draw to it, then choose the first deck. You choose the deck that you're most drawn to, and that will be your reading. Now this second one is this rock. To me it gives off very protective vibes, very soothing vibes, very easygoing vibes. Then we have third, this peacock ore. It's a very pretty, you can't tell with this lighting, but it is a peacock color. It's very beautiful. Fourth, we have dragon's blood. It's a beautiful stone. It's very soothing. It's actually a soother stone. And for the last one, we have 2 stones. I always keep them together. They remind me of Hecate. And this is, I call it a moonstone because it's shaped like a moon, but it's not a moonstone. And this is a hag stone. If you look through a hag stone, you're supposed to be able to see fairies and fae and other creatures. Now pause if you need to. You can rewind. Here, I will hold up the stones. I'll put them in each hand. I'm sorry if I shake. Now, whichever ones that you're drawn to, you go towards them and go to that. I'll try to have the times for you. Don't drop your stones. Okay, the first one that we are going to be working with is the rose quartz. The first one that I drew for the rose quartz is the Ten of Swords. This is telling you that you've had a lot of pain in the past. There's been a lot of sorrow, maybe a lot of death, a lot of pain. Then you have the Four of Pentacles. There's been a lot of greed in your past too. Maybe you were a little too greedy. Maybe you had some loved ones that were too greedy. And then we have the Moon. It symbolizes anxiety. Maybe in your past you always felt very anxious, very uncontrolled, very scared. Maybe you were scared of whoever was causing you pain or whoever was being greedy. And then we have the Knight of Cups in the reversed position. The Knight of Cups usually is a very happy card, but it's reversed. It's saying that even in your past, even in the happiest of times, you had very negative results. And I'm so sorry that you had all of this sad times. Oh, but there is good. You had a very loving mother figure. A very loving mother figure. It didn't even have to be a female. It was just someone who cared for you the way that a good mother would. So, in your past, it was full of pain and hardship, and maybe you had a narcissist, a horrible, greedy narcissist that was being horrible to you. Let's see. We draw 3 of these. We have, I didn't shuffle these. One moment. We have, oh, that's so funny, I just drew the exact same cards. I guess they were shuffled. There's the Cave, the Mentor, and Anima Mundi. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Now, with the Mentor, maybe you found somebody, or maybe you need to find somebody who is going to be able to help you, who's wise in whatever issues you're having. And right now you feel like you're stuck in a cave. You're stuck where you just can't get out. And your spiritual side is very suppressed. Maybe you're an empath and you're surrounded by narcissists, and you need to get out of that situation. You can't be an empath with narcissists around you all the time. It's so draining. Maybe you're clairvoyant and the spirits are surrounding you and they're not good spirits. You need to protect yourself. Envision a bubble of light around yourself and keep you safe. Pray to God. Pray to whatever religion you have. Just keep yourself safe. Now for the oracle cards, the first one is Break the Chains, Ancestral Patterns, Healing, Rewriting the Future. Maybe the narcissist that is in your life is a family member, and you have to think, you don't have to be stuck with them. You don't have to. It's okay to cut them away. You don't have to keep the chains of your bonds. You don't have to stay where you are. You can be free. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. You don't need to keep working yourself. You don't need to light the candle at both ends. You just need to take a break and play. Have fun. Celebrate. Don't be too serious. Take a break and just have fun. Let yourself have fun. Don't think about the negativity. The initiation, the rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You are on the cusp of your spiritual gifts. Like I said, you may be an empath and you just discovered you're an empath. You may be clairvoyant, clairsentient. There's something special about you and you are this close to finding whatever it is. The last oracle card, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? You don't need to dim your light. You are a goddess or a god. You are the oracle. You are powerful. You don't have to fit in with people. Now, for this one, I'm going to be looking at a book, because this is the herbiary self-help. Now let's see, this is California Poppy, Resurrection. You have the moon again. The moon is very prominent in your readings because of the anxiety and the pain that you're feeling. You need to learn this ritual. True dark. When was the last time you let yourself go, released your day-walking personality, and slipped fully into night? Forgot the rules of being yourself. We no longer know true dark. Lights and electronics glow through the night and the stars are obscured. Still, with a little effort, we can get a good approximation of darkness. Choose a night to go dark. Turn off all the lights and all electronics. If you have street lights near your windows, draw the curtains. Don't use flashlights or electric lamps. Instead, light a candle or battery-operated tea light. You're going to want to meet your nighttime self. When all the lights are off, stop, meditate, find out who you are. Turning the lights off will negate distractions. Light a candle if I'm afraid of the dark. I'll light my candles and have natural light around me. You just don't want the fake light. So basically with yours, it's all saying that your past self is telling you, you were hurt. I'm hurting right now. They're in your past and they're telling you, you're going to get better. You are special and you are going to get better. Now for the rock. This rock is very special to me. It was given to me by a family member, so it is empowered with soothing thoughts and love, familial love. Now, the first card that I've drawn for you is the King of Cups upside down. Now, this is pretty much saying it's got a feminine and masculine feel to it at the same time. It's saying that you have a lot of great ideas, but you weren't the hardest worker. You could procrastinate a lot. You could be a little bit lazy, and you didn't mean to be lazy. The Seven of Cups reversed is basically telling you, because of the laziness, because of the procrastination, you missed a lot of opportunities in your life. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that you wanted to do, you didn't get to do because you were still working on things you should have done a long time ago. And then there's the Three of Pentacles right side up. You are always trying to find new ways to make money. It's a very common issue among young people. You are always trying to think of ways, not get rich quick schemes, but ideas, creative ideas that fell through because of the procrastination. The Six of Cups. Now this is a very happy card. You didn't have a very hard childhood. It was abundant. Maybe you didn't have a lot of money, but maybe you were middle class. You didn't have to worry about being poor or anything. And then the Two of Swords. You did have to worry about parental figures telling you that, and relatives telling you that you were never going to succeed in life because you were always off in your own world. You were always procrastinating. Maybe you have ADHD, maybe you have autism, maybe you have another form of disorder like that was keeping you from your full potential in their eyes. Okay, we've got the Threshold, the Sustainer, and the Castle. Now in your mind, you're living in a castle. You are very happy. You're very content. You were very content. You didn't realize that the procrastination was hurting you. You're sustained. You don't really have a lot of issues. You're very happy where you are. You've crossed the threshold of your happiness. You're very unbound. You're already releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. You're very in tune with being unbound. You're what they would call a wild child or a hippie, things like that. You're not bound to rules. A starseed, what lights you up? Now, you're going to have to focus more on things that make you happy. If you focus on things that make you happy to help you make the money, to help you focus, then you won't procrastinate as much. And we have the crumbling. It's kind of like the tower. What are you clinging on to? Maybe you're at the moment clinging on to some past, something from the past, and your past self is saying, let go. Maybe it's the childhood. Like I said, you had a very happy childhood. Maybe you're clinging on to it and you don't want to let go. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Now this has to do with the crumbling also. Maybe you need to step away from nostalgia. Maybe nostalgia is what's keeping you procrastinating. And it's okay to be nostalgic, but sometimes we focus on it a little too hard. And this card is just simply no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. You're too much of a yes man. That's one reason you procrastinate. You've got way too much on your plate. You say yes to every project that comes your way. You need to stop. You need to give yourself a break. Now for this one is oats. Just be. That is page 112. I'm going to read from this book to tell you what kind of rituals can help you. Now, I didn't write this book, okay? I bought this in Salem, Massachusetts, but it's very helpful to me, and I know it'll be very helpful to you. The ritual that it gives for you is oat bathing. Get to know oat a bit more intimately with an oat scrub or bath. Oat softens your skin, and she'll do the same for the rough edges of your nerves. To make a scrubby, take a handful of rolled oats, the kind for cooking, and put them in the center of a washcloth. To make a bath, use a blender or coffee grinder to powder 1 cup of rolled oats. If you have dried rose, lavender, or chamomile, powder these as well and add them to the powdered oats. This way you're relaxing. It gives you time to meditate. Going silent. Can you just be? Can you let go of expectations and the need to know? This is another procrastinating thing. Usually when we're procrastinating, we're not living in the moment. We're trying to find something to distract us from whatever we don't want to do. You need to just sit still, meditate, just be in the moment. And once your nerves are relaxed, you'll be able to finish doing what you need to do. So basically what your past self is telling you is you need to let go of the past. You need to live in this moment. And you need to relax and stop procrastinating. Now, the next one we have is the peacock onyx, the peacock ore. Very beautiful. This is a newer stone to me. I don't have the best reading on what it gives me, but it gives me beauty and glamour. Now, the first one we got was the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning. This must have been when you were very young, very young. You have the High Priestess. You were born into a spiritual family, whether it be Christian, Wiccan, Hoodoo. There's so much spirituality in your family. Judgment. Because of this, you were judged harshly, and people thought you were very odd, very weird, and that hurt you very deeply. And then you wanted to judge others because they were judging you. Now we have the Knight of Swords reversed. You're very soft, very delicate. You're not hard. You're not strong-willed. And the Judgment that was placed on you as a very small child for your personal beliefs is very painful, and it's put many cracks in your armor. And there's the Six of Wands. You've traveled, whether it be spiritually, maybe you've switched religions and switched back, maybe you've actually traveled the world, but you did it to try to get away, and they're telling me to pick up one more card for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles upside down. You loved your family. You loved it beyond all expectation, and they're telling me to, I'm just gonna keep pulling if they tell me to. You loved your family so much, but you also felt disconnected from everyone else. And the Queen of Cups, you felt very serious. You were the list maker, the person who wanted everything to be perfect. You're the mom who sits in the bleachers planning the next event while at an event. Okay, you got, let's see, Alethea, the King, and the Mountain. The Mountain means you have, it's telling me to pull one more. You've got Kairos. The Mountain basically means that you have a uphill climb. You've had to fight your way to where you are. You've never had it really easy, work-related or friendship-related in your entire life. You've always had that very spiritual outlook with the Kairos. You can't function without the spirituality. Maybe you're clairvoyant. Maybe you're a medium. I'm getting a lot of medium vibes from you. Very strong, but you're weak-willed, like I said, so it scares you a lot. But you're the king or the queen in this situation. You are stronger than you think. But you have to watch out. They're good in the bad, and they're bad in the good. And share your voice. Come out of the cave. You've been through a lot of persecution, but it's time for you to express yourself. It might be a slow process, but it's time to come out of that cocoon, out of that cave. The inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Now this is saying, again, you need to work on that power, that mediumship, the empathy, something that's in there. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Whether it be your family or the friendship that you've made, you're not in this alone. Your past self is telling you you have made connections, even if it's one person, and you hold on to them, and they will help you. Now they're telling me that this is one less than everyone else, but I gave you extra other cards, and they're telling me that this is the only other one you need. This is Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. You have something special in you. You are radiant. You're gorgeous. Your soul is shining bright. And you need to work on your inner spiritual practices, and you will shine so bright. Now this card is Exuberant Gratitude, the Passion Flower. Now this is page 140. I'm going to be reading from this book. Again, I don't own this book. I didn't write it, but it will help you. This is rituals and practices that will help you with your journey. Feeling expansive. Expand yourself, instructs Passion Flower as she reaches around a flower pot on her way to the far corner of the garden. Are you ready to get a body sense of what it feels like to be calm and contained, yet exuberantly expansive? Stand in a doorway with your palms turned inward towards your body. Press the back of your hand against the door frame. Push outward with your arms as hard as you can. Your muscles might shake a little, that's okay. And count slowly to 40. Then step out of the doorway. Passion flower teaches us the power of balance, doing and not doing, critical thinking and daydreaming, waking and sleeping. Which parts of your life do you feel joyously engaged with? Have you lost your passion for some parts of your daily life? This again goes back to Anna, grandmother of Jesus. To work on your powers, to work on anything like that, you need to be content and happy with yourself. Try the ritual that I've given you. When you leave the doorway, you should feel like you've walked into a new life. So basically, your past self is telling you, you are stronger than you think, and you are destined for great things. And don't let other people tell you how to feel about yourself. Now, the next one is the dragon bloodstone. It's a soother stone. It's red and black, a little see-through. It's very soothing. The first card I've picked for you is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles means in the past you had a lot of money. Maybe you weren't rich, but you never had to worry about when your next meal was coming. And the Sun means you had a very happy childhood, very happy childhood. You didn't really have a lot of woes. The Hanging Man, reversed. Again, this is meaning that you didn't really have a lot of... It was a very soothing, very happy childhood. Five of Cups reversed. Again, you were very happy, very positive. You always had a very positive outlook on life. The Two of Wands reversed. Usually the Two of Wands means you were at a crossroads. You don't know which way to take, but you've always known where you were going to go. You know exactly what was going to happen, and you never worried about that. Now you've got the Mystic, the Womb, and the Empty Room. That was your past, and this is your present. Even though you're very optimistic, you still get lonely. You're so happy, so hyper, people tend to avoid you. You're very lonely. The womb means you're craving a family. Maybe you got baby fever. Maybe you just want a family. And the Mystic means you're very in tune with something. Maybe it's your third eye. Maybe it's some other form of mystical ability. Maybe you're a tarot reader. Maybe you're a psychic. You're very in tune with that. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You need to protect yourself. You're pretty much an empath. I'm getting that very strongly. You're so happy, you make others happy, but you need to cut the cords. You're drawing the narcissists. They will come for you. They will try to suck all the happiness out, and that's what leaves you feeling like you're in a dark room. The narcissists are taking your joy. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. You are such a joy to be around. Protect yourself. Keep that happiness. Keep that joy. You can help people. You can help yourself. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Again, this is the empathy. Empaths have, I am an empath, I can tell you from experience, we always feel like the world is sucking our joy out. We're absorbing everyone else's emotions, and we don't know how to process that. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. You are as important as a priestess, a mystic, or a teacher. You are helping people. Empaths are very important to this world. They're spiritual healers, they're friends, they're mothers, they're fathers. They are very important. I'm not saying this just because I am one. They are important. Priestess. See, you are the priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? But you are the priestess. The priestess is so important. You are meant to step up and lead, whether that be as an empath or some other form of mystic. That is 3 different cards telling you that you are a mystic. What needs mending? Comfrey. Now I'm going to read this from this book. Once again, I do not own this book. This is just very helpful for self-help. If you hear noises, that is my dog. He's down at my feet. Now this is going to tell you rituals and reflection practices. Ritual, breaking apart. The flip side of mending is breaking. We're trained to appear strong and often feel guilt or shame when we break. Find something you can safely smash, hurl, stomp on, or pummel. Allow yourself to scream or grunt. Nothing like that in your house? Then beat up your bed with a pillow. Get out those frustrations. Get out the negative energies. Disillusions. It's easier to break something than it is to repair it, and yet there's a rare release in breaking that we seldom let ourselves feel. What if you knew without a doubt that you could break and be remade? What if you could find joy in the breaking? Think of the caterpillar that turns into DNA soup during its time in the cocoon. Stop and reflect. Think on these questions. What possibilities might open up to you? What happens if you break and then put yourself back together? Reflect on things. Meditate. Get it out of your system. Basically, your past self is telling you that you're a very good person. You are so loved. You are so loved. And you are going to help so many people. Now, the last group here is my moon-shaped stone and my hag stone. Now, first we have the 5 of Swords reversed. The 5 of Swords upside is usually someone who is very selfish, but this is telling you that you were very selfless and you didn't even realize it. You thought you were being selfish. The 7 of Swords upright. Funny enough, this one also is saying you're not completely selfless. Nobody is. But you never take more than you need. You take as much as you can hold, and then you never try to get more. You might look back at it, but you're thinking someone else can need that. And the King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands is a very strong-willed, very creative, but you're more detailed-oriented. You are strong-willed. The Fool. Because you're detail-oriented, you like to have everything planned out, but that kind of puts you at risk for not being able to do what you need. The 4 of Swords. You think the world is ending so much. You always have. You've always thought the world is ending any second, and you don't realize the world's not ending. The world is that the swords are not touching you. They might be looming over you, but there's always some kind of threat looming over you. One more. Temperance, but upside down. You have always needed somebody to you've always needed somebody to be there to help you release your tensions. And the last one, 6 of Swords. You don't like change. You hate change, and that's why you need somebody to be with you and to help you. You've always hated change. You've got the Hunter, the Starborn, and the Mirror. Well, you don't really have a lot of spiritual gifts. You have a lot of physical gifts. You are a really great leader. You hunt and get stuff done. People fear you for how much you know how to get stuff done. If I had to give you a zodiac sign, I'd probably give you Capricorn, the traditional Capricorn, the Starborn. It's like as soon as you were born, you knew what you wanted to do. You knew what life was, and you were going to go get it. The Mirror. You can't help but see yourself in other people, and that's why you're so selfless. You want other people to have what you couldn't have. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. You want perfection. You want everything to be perfect, and with how good you work, it almost is perfect. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. You have big plans for the future, and your past self is telling you, keep focusing on these plans, keep at it, keep dreaming. Keepers of the earth, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. This is telling you that there are so many people, past and present, willing to help you. You don't have to do things alone. Look to your teachers, maybe people of the past who have passed on. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Like I said, you are longing for the perfect business, the perfect home, the perfect everything. But look at those old teachers. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. You work too hard. You need to rest. You need patience. And it looks like I've got two cards here for you. They both came up. This is Pay Attention, Nettle, in Integration, Mullion. Now this is page 132 and 144. I'll read the Mullion first. Thinking macro, understanding how things influence each other is key to seeing the deeper patterns at work in the world. In your mind, as a sketch or in a journal, find the threads that connect these seemingly separate things. An acorn and a butterfly, the moon in a ship, your head and your heart. And keep doing that. Think when you see something like this owl, if you saw a real owl, think owl, stuffed animal, tree, dirt. How does it even in the tiniest connection go together? And then spider medicine. Mullion is like a spider sitting on her web, feeling the vibrations along various threads and seeing from the center how it all connects. Imagine all the parts of your life as a giant network with every person, place, and thing connected. Think of yourself as a spider sitting on the center of her web. Imagine the threads stretching out from where you sit. Bring consciousness to your connectivity. Are there parts of your life that need to be integrated into the whole? Now choose an action you're considering or a decision you're making. Fill out along your web what or who will be affected by your choice. Now for Nettle. Nettle says, see me, and really isn't that what each of us want? To be seen and acknowledged? Make this your ritual. See the people around you as unique individuals. Walk through the world with presence, acknowledging in your heart your family, the people with whom you work or study, the folks standing in line with you at the market. In your mind, say two unique things about every person you meet. When you slip into your internal world, that place where other people become a bit blurry, consciously pull yourself back to being externally present. Who is unseen? Nettle medicine is both vast and fundamental. She gives us the building blocks needed only for the human body, but for health, not only for the human body, but for healthy soil. Because she's not showy or flashy, she's not often grown in the garden, and her sting pushes her to the outskirts of civilization. But once known, she's beloved. Are there entire groups of people relegated to the outskirts of your consciousness? Older folks often feel like they're no longer seen as individual, and whole groups of people are often lumped together under the title of race, ethnicity, or affiliation. Nettle asks, who has become invisible to you? She reminds you of the gifts you're missing when you stop seeing individuality. So basically what your cards are telling you is you are very, very, very strong-willed, but you're so scared. You are so scared of messing up. You need to loosen up, and you need to know that you are working towards what you need to be working towards. I do hope everybody really liked what I've done today. I really enjoy doing these readings. My next reading will probably be what your future self is saying to you. Again, I should have my next deck, so there might be a few more cards, or I might replace a deck of cards. Again, I hope you've really enjoyed sitting here and going through your past selves with me. And if you ever have a request, if you ever think I would really like to see her do this, just know that I do take requests. You can leave a comment. And also know I do have an Etsy shop with my friend. It's called The Tiny Talisman. You can buy personalized oracle or tarot readings. They're not quite as lengthy as this one. They're much more personalized. This one is a generalized. It's still slightly personalized, but it's a lot more generalized. We also sell a bunch of herb sachets, satchels, that will help you with whatever you need help with. And if you ever have any psychic questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I am so happy to help. I might not be as old and knowledgeable as some other people out there. Personally, my favorite to go to for advice is someone named Granny Druid on TikTok. She's amazing if you want to check her out. But I do hope you all have a great day, and be sure to subscribe, okay?